this is Elizabeth Clare Brewington with Discover Brightside, the video podcast. And today we're doing a very important topic, emotional intelligence. And we're talking about prosperity. Are you prosperous? Do you want to know more about being prosperous? It's more than wealth, it's a whole well being situation. And Sandeep gave us a great introduction to prosperity, and I hope you watched the video. We had Joanne and Bill Wagner talking about the importance of children reading, and we had Stacy doing some amazing things in schools about getting alerted right away about mental health in kids, which is so important that we get that into the schools. And I have a wonderful author and a gift maker and a beautiful story. And so she was in the corporate world, and now she has become an entrepreneur and business owner. And so over to you, Wendy. Tell us what you do and tell us all about it.
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really honored to be here. So speaking of children and literacy and how important reading and, as Stacy mentioned, connecting with actually children and listening to them. I'm a children's book author, and we've all seen that moment when a child's eyes light up, and it's really, really powerful. And not because they're on a screen or not because something dramatic is happening, but light up because they're feeling loved and connected and they're engaged and engrossed in something. And that really is who I am as a children's book author, is really triggering those moments within kids where they lean in and they want to learn and hear more. So my name is Wendy Jensen, and I'm a children's book author. I have four books now. I'm the owner of my business is Scandinavian Hearts, and I have Scandinavian heritage. So as a parent, it was really important for me to share my heritage with my children and to pass down these stories and traditions. And I found myself really wanting to tell them and teach them. And, so I would sit them down and say, okay, here's some stories of my heritage. Here's some traditions. I really wanted them to learn. I wanted them to create an emotional connection. And the more that I told them, the less that they were interested in learning. Um, they didn't want to be told. They didn't want to be told how to feel and told what the meaning was. They wanted to be listened to and involved and engaged. And so that began my journey of writing children's books. So children's books are just such a great way to connect with the generation and really share stories that create an impact for them and are relevant for them. So things like Joanne have been talking about, like beautiful colors and stories with like children's and illustration that people can relate to. And all of a sudden, they're engrossed in this book and they're learning. And, that's not the intention of the kid, but that's the side effect of their parents sitting down with them or them sitting down alone and being lost in the book. Each of my books has a question at the end, because I don't want this just to be about Scandinavian heritage. I want to know, like, how are kids feeling connected and what's meaningful for them and what stories and families and traditions like are of value for them. So really these stories at the end are just such a great way for parents and families and teachers to hear about the kids. And the stories are important, but how are the kids feeling and what's important to them? And so using books and stories as a way to really engage your children and connect your with your kids and create memories, start sharing and making memories. Each of my books also has an art project at the end. And I want my books, like I said, to have an impact and an impression. And I want them to have make a lasting difference on these kids. So bringing the craft project at the end has a way of bringing the story to life and really creating that connection. So the kids remember these moments with their parents or grandparents or teachers or classrooms where it's not even just about the story, it's something that they got lost in, and it's more about the experience and the memory of it. So I know today, in today's world, it's hard to connect with kids sometimes. They're busy, they get lost in the noise of everything that's going on. And so reading is just so, so, so important, and creating those moments of connection where you can through books and stories, and connecting to them where they're at in a way that makes sense to them and is relevant to them and isn't threatening or intimidating or something that they can really relate to is so, so, so important. So, like I said, I have four books. They're all about different Scandinavian traditions. So this one is about the Dala horse, which is a Swedish symbol. This one is about rosemaling, which is a Norwegian type of art. This one is just about Scandinavian hearts and about hearts and symbols. And then this one is about woven hearts, which is a traditional Danish symbol. So. Yes, that's my story, and that's my mission is to really connect and share traditions and heritage with children and other generations.
Wow, I don't think we've ever had a Scandinavian. We've had people tell us about their cultures, and I think Sir Picklesworth needs to go to Scandinavia.
Think so.
So
Yeah.
wow, what a lovely education. I love travel books because it takes you to another place and you learn cultures, and that was awesome. All right, we'll save the questions now. Arnell, thank you for joining us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to. So my name's Arnell Mitchell Warford. I am a yoga instructor, and I specialize in astrology informed yoga. And so really what I do is help people connect to their higher selves, become more mindful, and also more confident. And so my practice includes a vinyasa style practice, so a vinyasa flow. And I always associate and change our practice based on what's going on with astrology. And so it becomes a practice that is very self-aware, where we become to reflect on who we are on the inside and how we're feeling in a moment. And having the knowledge of astrology also helps people be a little bit more patient when they're interacting with the world. Being a little bit more patient in traffic when if something's not going the right way, or interacting with their children. Even we just experienced a new moon in Libra, and so there's a challenge of dynamics in the household. And so when you're aware of this information, you can come at it with more confidence. You can come at it with more ease and clarity on what's really going on, and be able to work through challenges with clarity and confidence, because you have the information and the knowledge to know how to take care of yourself.
Wow, I'm going to bring you back on in a bit, okay? So thank you for that wonderful introduction. All